What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset, A.K.A. the Inspired. Ooh, y'all. I had an aha wake up moment. It's like 5 minutes before midnight, Eastern Standard Time. And I hadn't even posted for Wake Up Wednesday. So I'm thinking I'm wrapping up, doing auditions, changing clothes, getting relaxed, doing what you do to get prepared for bed. And child, I had an aha wake up moment. So I hope I can get through this without having to do any edits and post this relatively quickly. So today I'm coming to share with you guys how I had a revelation about pride. Woo, child. First and foremost, I appreciate my new subscribers. I appreciate the follows. I appreciate all of the comments and DMs and emails that I get all the time. I'm always reading. I'm always analyzing. I'm slow to speak. And so I do a lot of research first before I answer. Sometimes God just gives me the answer just with talking to people and relating to people. And he just gives me something to impart. So I'm thankful that I'm at 100% response rate. And I'm just grateful that you entrust me with your personal information. Okay, so my aha moment. I'll be on here talking about pride. I'll be telling people about themselves in my personal space, people I know, and we be having healthy conversations. And I'm like, I had a revelation that every time we say, I don't do that, and that's not me, and I ain't cut from that cloth. That ain't how I get down. Or you shouldn't, because that's beneath me. We're so quick to point out what we feel in our own fleshly opinion is what's accurate because it works for us. I had a revelation that that's like a sense of pride, that we're being kind of prideful, egotistical. Now, I'm not talking about accountability and calling a spade and saying a thing is a thing. I'm talking about putting ourselves above someone when we're telling ourselves we're correcting them and holding them accountable and calling them out. It's a difference. And so I was sitting there like, that's why God says, be slow to speak, slow to become angry, slow to listen. Because you really got to monitor this thing right here. And it's so powerful because even though we think at times we're calling something out for encouragement, accountability, we could be sending mixed messages that we think we're better than that person. Or we think that that's something that, because we went through it in the past or whatever, it ain't of us now. You know what I'm saying? That we got the audacity and authority to speak on something like it's word, like we wasn't there 10, 15, 20 years ago. That's not what I want to give off. That's not the message that I'm trying to portray. What I live in is evolution. That's why the books I've written is the Price of Evolution series. That's why the card game that will be an amazing Christmas gift is the accountability card game deck. It's called Real Talk for Overcomers. It's a card game you can play with anybody, hopefully, that you trust. And you can get yourself together and do it every 7 days to see what bad behaviors and bad traits and bad attitudes and bad philosophies of thought that you've had that is a disservice to you, that's not productive. So you want to hop on and get those things. My books, my accountability card game deck. You can go to www.avacherie.me. I'm going to start doing promotions for Black Friday. I just got to get some scheduling things in order and a couple of my projects. So I really just wanted to come on. I probably need to play my accountability card game with myself because you can play solo. It's just like pulling a deck like Uno. I need to check myself and make sure that when God downloaded that card game I did to me, that I'm following the creed and the code of what God instructed me to give to others. And we're not above, of course, reproach. We're not above being chastised in the spirit or having someone else come along and say, hey, the way you said that or the way it sounded, it didn't sound like you could relate. It sounded like, because that's far removed from you, it's kind of prideful to be like, that ain't of me. I don't do that. Ooh. And I think we all do that, like in some form or fashion. Like, oh, I don't hang at the club no more. Ooh, girl, I ain't going. Oh, I ain't going down there. Or the homeboys doing whatever they do. Oh, you smoke weed. I can't have that around me because you know, I'm this, that, and the third. But sometimes it could be self-righteous and egotistical and prideful and judgmental. And really, that's just how we talk. But we have to monitor that as well, because we have to hold other people's feelings in the palms of our hand. And if we want them to see our heart, we have to make sure that they know. I'm speaking from a place of knowledge of consequence, that I'm just saying for me, and when you get to your point, but for me, I'm far removed from certain things. And although I've been there, I want to just shed light on what path that leads to, without judging. And understand, people are going to have to find out for themselves to come into their full purpose. But even if people, they're just wrong, stinking thinking, it's like, as a leader, as a teacher, as an educator, or whatever, you can find yourself being like, now why you do that? Now you know that ain't this. Like, why would you do that? Who taught you that? Like, why would you do that? That could be so kind of prideful. So I'm gonna investigate it more, but it fell on me like, wow. Even when I made a mention that a person should be somewhere in another space in life, they should have elevated a certain way, or they should have learned from something. That could have come across judgmental and prideful, as if I hadn't written about my own obstacles and trials and tribulations and got on vlogs and said that. Like, I'm saying that I'm intentionally acknowledging that at the least of it, I want to make sure that it is clear as possible, that I'm not judging where you are, but where you are may not be where I choose to be. And you have a choice as well. So I still want to empower a person from their choice. But for me to be activated in that choice is not mine. I have to let them know about my boundaries, my zero tolerance on things, and my lack of patience on entertaining things. So I'm going to work on that. That's my aha moment. I want to go back and look at some conversations I've had with loved ones and close confidants to ensure that I'm fostering an environment for vulnerability and transparency, and not they not going to cower in the corner like, oh, here come Miss Know-It-All. Miss I got every answer. Here come Miss Motivational Mindset, Amy Sweetie Inspired. Like, ain't nobody asked for that all the time. So I just wanted to come on and give my aha moment. Child, I'm getting ready to go to bed. Me and this Bob, okay? I'm getting ready to go to bed. Hopefully, I'm usually working overnight where everybody's sleeping, but I just wanted to come on and say that because it's like hilarious to me. Like, girl, what? Check yourself. Yeah. Mm. So I apologize in advance. But I've gone through my comments over the span of my videos, and I make sure that I lead in God's love, God's joy, God's light. I'm intentional about that. It's very easy to do that. And even when people come at me in the comments, I only had probably 3, thank God. But, I'm like, even with that, you still have an opinion. But if you go through my videos, I set the tone that we're not doing that, because that's easy to do. Being an idiot, clapping back publicly, socially, when I got all kinds of ages of groups of people looking at, we don't do that. And even if it wasn't nobody looking at me and it's personal, if you ain't violating no personal space, no family space, you ain't violating this body, this vessel, I'm cool on you. I know how to handle you. My words expand beyond me cussing you out. So I thank God for that evolution as well. And I know how to be tight and tight-lipped, and I can vent another way, and I can dance, I can groove, I can DJ, I can do other things to get that energy out. I will hold myself at a high regard to make sure I never have to do that on here, but I want to apologize if my voice and the authority of my voice is very solid and stern in my compassion to get certain things out, because that's all it is. Because, child, I'm walking through it with you. I'm in the fire with gasoline draws on, too. So, this is your girl with an aha moment for herself. Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset, Ava Cherie the Inspired. I have a warfare book that speaks about pride. Matter of fact, let me go get it. Ooh, we finna learn about the strong men of pride, child. I ain't got my glasses, child. Where my readers at, child? Child, I can't do this. Hold on. Let's get to pride. Pride. Now, I'm doing this too because spirit of haughtiness, because I need to rest in my spirit while the revelation came so clearly just now. And I'm not going to put that off, and I might as well do it with you guys. So hopefully you got this far in the video. So let's go. Proverbs 16:18 talks about the spirit of haughtiness, pride. Go figure. Now we're going to talk about all the attachments to the spirit of haughtiness. So the spirit of haughtiness, the branches connected to haughtiness and pride is arrogant, smug, idleness, strife, contentious, rejection of God, self-deception, scornful, rebellion, self-righteous, obstinate, and pride. The reverse of haughtiness is humility. Let's start there. Proverbs 16:18 says, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. My God. So spirit of haughtiness can prevent us from becoming what God intended for us to become. Google spirit of haughtiness, Haughtiness, or the spirit of pride, and just start to study and just make sure you're in alignment with being humble. And even when you don't know that you have a pride issue, if how you're addressing something or how you're living is causing division, contention, or you find yourself exaggerating and boasting and feeling elevated when you start to do it over and over again, and you're beating down somebody with what you're better than, how you wouldn't do this, how you wouldn't do that. I'm pretty sure there's a spirit of haughtiness roaming on in there and some of his little offspring. So we got to check ourselves, and we are prepared to do that because we are greatness. We are kings and queens of the Most High. We are sons and daughters of the Most High God. And yo, let's get into it. All right, I'm going to study, and I'll be back before you. Hope you have a good night. God's love and God's peace to you all. It's a little after midnight on the East Coast, Wednesday, October 30th, going into Thursday, October 31st. So God's love, God's healing, God's light to you. Rest easy. This is your girl, Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset, Ava Cherie.